Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving into something pretty major, stirring in the aerospace and international security world.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Japan has apparently reached out to India about, well, potentially joining the Global Combat Air Program, GCAP.
GCP, right. That is significant, not just a small news item.
Exactly. It could really shake up defense collaboration, strategic thinking, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely. It's where technology ambition meets shifting global dynamics. This isn't happening in isolation.
Precisely. So we're not just skimming the surface today. We're going deep. What could this really mean for India, for GCAP itself, for the wider Indo-Pacific picture?
And we have some solid grounding for this discussion too, right?
We do. Info comes from a Japanese government source dated April 30th, plus reporting from Kyoto News and the Eurasian Times.
Good sources.
And for you listening, especially if you're prepping for the UPSC exams, pay close attention. Our mission here is to break down the why behind this, the potential upsides, the challenges too.
And the strategic implications for India's defense modernization. Big picture stuff.
Exactly. Crucial for understanding India's role in the Indo-Pacific. Okay, let's start at the beginning. What is GCAP, fundamentally?
Okay, so GCK, it's basically a joint project between Japan, the UK, and Italy.
The core three.
Yep, we kicked it off back in 2022.
Yeah.
The main goal, design, build, and deliver a next-generation fighter jet.
So pooling resources, basically.
That's the core idea. It does two things.
Yeah.
First, like you hinted, developing these things is insanely expensive.
Astronomical costs, I bet.
Right. So partnering helps spread that cost burden, makes it manageable.
And the second reason?
It's about boosting the defense industrial base for each country. Shared work, shared innovation,
Makes sense. Who are the big industry players driving this?
You've got the heavyweights, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries from Japan.
MHI?
Right, MHI. Then Leonardo from Italy and BAE Systems over in the UK. They're the main system integrators.
So the big aerospace primes.
Exactly. It takes a huge network to build something this advanced.
Is there like a formal government body managing it all?
Yeah, they set up something called the GCAP International Government Organization, GIGO for short.
GIGO, got it.
And they actually ratified the treaty for GIGO, the founding members did.
Oh, okay. So it's official, legally structured.
Pretty much. That ratification was key. It paved the way for the really intensive design and development phase, which is supposed to kick into high gear in 2025.
Okay, solid foundation for GCAP. Now, the big question, why reach out to India? What's Japan's thinking here?
Well, based on our sources, there seem to be two main drivers for Japan.
Okay.
The first one is pretty straightforward, money. They want to reduce the, quote, substantial costs.
Makes sense. Adding another partner helps dilute that financial pressure.
Exactly. These projects have huge price tags. The second driver is more strategic.
Which is?
Japan really wants to, and again, this is close to the source phrasing, deepen security ties with India, a key Asian player.
The Indo-Pacific angle.
Absolutely. It's about promoting stability in the region, which is, increasingly complex. They see India as a vital partner there.
And they've actually acted on this. It's not just talk.
No, it seems quite concrete. Sources say Japanese officials actually visited India back in February.
This year?
Yeah, February 2025.
Yeah.
Specifically to brief India on GCAP and formally suggest they consider participating.
Okay, so Japan made the first move. Now, flip side, why would India be interested? What's in it for them?
Several things probably make this appealing to India. First and foremost, you have the Modi government's big push on Make in India.
Right. Domestic production is a huge priority.
Definitely. So the potential for tech transfer, maybe setting up some production lines in India, that fits perfectly with the Make in India goals.
Okay, alignment with national policy. What else?
Well, there's the security environment. It's challenging.
Understatement, maybe.
Perhaps. Look at India's neighbors. China's operating at least two types of stealth fighters already.
Right, the J-20 and the FC-31.
Exactly. And reports suggest Pakistan is likely to acquire J-35s, which is basically an export version of the FC-31 from China.
So the capability gap or potential gap is widening.
It puts pressure on India to keep pace, to acquire or develop its own advanced, potentially stealthy aircraft.
And how's India's own indigenous fighter program, the AMCA, progressing?
It's ambitious, definitely moving forward, but these things take time, a lot of time. International collaboration like GCWay could offer maybe a faster route.
A way to accelerate getting those next-gen capability.
Potentially, yes. Either acquiring them faster or co-developing, co-producing them.
And India has been courted for this kind of thing before, right, with the UK?
That's right. Before GCK solidified with Japan and Italy, the UK was leading the Tempest program.
GCK's predecessor, basically.
Yeah. And the UK did invite India to collaborate on Tempest back then.
Did they mention specific areas?
They did. Nick Khanna from BAE Systems India specifically mentioned India's strengths in software engineering as a key potential contribution.
Interesting. So there's already identified synergy.
Seems like it. A history there.
Okay, so there's interest on both sides, potentially. But these big international defense deals, they get complicated politically, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Expanding GCK beyond the original three isn't a brand new idea either.
They've talked about it before.
Yeah. Leaders from Japan, the UK, and Italy discussed wanting to widen participation back in November 2024.
But has anyone else tried to join or been seriously considered?
Well, there's the Sweden example. They were involved early on with the UK's Tempest initiative.
Right, before it became GCK.
Exactly. But by November 2023, Sweden confirmed they were pulling out of those trilateral studies with the UK and Italy. They decided to focus nationally, it seems.
Okay, so Sweden's out. What about Saudi Arabia? There was noise about them.
Yes, Saudi Arabia definitely emerged as a strong potential candidate in 2023.
I remember something about an announcement.
You do. They actually announced they were joining back in March 2023, but it turned out to be premature. The UK had to walk that back a bit. Although, later that year, September 2023, a UK official did express optimism about Saudi Arabia joining eventually.
It's always a but.
There seems to be. Reports indicate that Japan wasn't keen. They apparently opposed Saudi Arabia joining.
Ah, and that matters why.
Because any new member needs unanimous approval from all the current core partners. Japan, UK, Italy. They all have to agree.
So Japan's opposition, if true, is a major roadblock for Saudi Arabia.
It would appear so. That consensus rule is critical.
Any other potential partners mentioned? Germany, maybe?
Germany popped up briefly as a possibility around November 2023.
Why them?
There was some speculation, maybe fueled by reported friction in their own next-gen fighter project with France, the FCAS program.
Future Combat Air System. Right?
Yeah. Some thought maybe Germany might look at GCAP if FCAS hit major turbulence, but that seems to have fizzled out.
Did Germany clarify?
Yes. German officials pretty quickly reaffirmed their commitment to FCAS and working with France. So that door seems closed.
Okay, so expanding GCAP is clearly not straightforward. Let's bring it back to India. If this moves forward, what are the main takeaways? What are the potential wins for India?
The upsides could be significant. Number one, access to really cutting-edge, sixth-generation aerospace technology. That's huge.
Could leapfrog some development hurdles?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Second, cost sharing, as we discussed.
Yep.
Developing this alone would be incredibly expensive.
Spreads the financial risk.
Third, strategic partnerships. Joining GCAP would definitely strengthen ties with Japan, the UK, Italy, all important players.
Boost India's geopolitical standing.
And fourth, crucially for India, the Make in India angle. Real potential for technology transfer, co-production, building up domestic capability.
High-end manufacturing, skills development.
Exactly. Not just assembly, but potentially deeper tech absorption and indigenous innovation down the line.
Okay, those are compelling benefits. But what about the flip side, the challenges or hurdles India would face?
There are definitely hurdles. Joining any massive multinational program like this is inherently complex.
Bureaucracy, differing priorities.
All of that. Navigating the different national interests, managing intellectual property, ensuring the work share is, fair and beneficial.
And the technology transfer, is it ever guaranteed to be as deep as hoped?
That's always a key concern. India would need strong agreements to ensure it genuinely enhances domestic capabilities, not just superficial involvement.
And politically.
And politically. As we saw with Saudi Arabia, India needs that unanimous yes vote from Japan, the UK, and Italy. Consensus is key.
So it's a complex calculation, benefits versus challenges. What's the bottom line question for India, especially for our UPSC-focused listeners?
The big question, the one you should really mull over for your mains analysis is, will India decide to take the plunge and join GNCP?
It's a major strategic fork in the road.
Absolutely. With huge implications for defense, technology, and India's place in the world.
And we absolutely have to stress right now, this is based on reports, good sources, but no official confirmation yet.
Crucial point. No government involved, India, Japan, UK, Italy, has formally announced anything yet.
Correct. So this is clearly a development with massive potential significance for India's defense posture, its Indo-Pacific strategy.
It touches on so many key areas relevant to UPSC technology, international relations, security, economic development through Make in India.
Definitely. So for you listening, think about these factors we've discussed. The tech gains, the strategic alignment, the industrial benefits, but also the complexities and the need for consensus. What do you think is the most critical factor for India?
For me, it boils down to balancing that immediate need for advanced tech with a long-term goal of true strategic autonomy and self-reliance. That's the tightrope they have to walk.
A very fine line indeed. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Do like, subscribe, and definitely drop a comment below. Tell us what you think, ask questions.
Yeah, engaging with these current affairs topics is vital for your prep, both mains and prelims. Understanding these dynamics is key.
Absolutely. And huge thanks to the Eurasian Times, whose reporting was central to our deep dive today.
Good reporting.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Beyond just getting new planes, what could joining a program like GCAP mean for India's long-term journey towards technological self-sufficiency in defense? Is it a shortcut, a dependency trap, or something else entirely?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? Worth pondering.
Indeed it is. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.